It's pumpkin season, and today I've got an adorable plaid pumpkin cookie for you. Hi, I'm Leslie with Leslie's Cookies and Treats, and if you love decorating sugar cookies or you want to learn how, you're in the right place. Let's decorate together. So as always, all of the supplies are listed in the description. Gather your cookies and let's decorate these cute pumpkins. I'm starting by outlining my cookie in royal icing. My consistency is about a 15 to 20-second consistency. It's a little bit too stiff for a wet on wet consistency, and I would recommend using more of a 12-second consistency here. But this is what I've got, so I'm going to make it work. As you can see, I'm almost out of icing anyway. So I'm going to flood this in, and then I'll use my scribe to settle it down. So I'm just going to give it a little shake here to kind of help it out. And then I got the cookie stuck on my scribe, but it finally came off. Once I have the icing smooth, I'm going to grab my green royal icing that's also in about a 15-second consistency, and I'm just going to touch down, lift up, and drag the line across. And I had a little air bubble and I lost control, so I just cleaned off my tip and started again. I'm going to touch down, lift up, and drag a steady line across, squeezing with even pressure and touching down at the other end. So touch down, lift up, then drag your line across, and you're going to want to wipe your piping bag tip off in between every line. Once I finished with that, I immediately came back with my orange royal icing. I cut a bigger hole in my orange icing because I wanted a little bit of a fatter line. I'm going to go underneath all of the green lines and then on top going the other direction and do the same thing. Just touch down, lift up, and drag a line across. And because we're piping immediately right on the wet white icing, these lines are going to settle down into the white icing and look like the plaid design has been there all along. And then if you have any start or stop points in your icing, just go ahead and use the scribe or paintbrush to settle those down. And then I set these cookies aside to dry. Now that my cookie is dry, I'm going to make a couple of leaves at the top of my cookie. I cut my piping bag at an angle, and I'm using a stiffer royal icing here. I'm just going back and forth, making a leaf at the top of my cookie. And then I have these cute little flowers that I made in another video. I'm just going to put a little royal icing on the back and attach that to the cookie. And I'll leave a link in the description for how to make these flowers. I'm just going to stick that right on, and then we'll add a few more leaves. So once again, using my stiffer green royal icing in my bag that I cut at an angle, I'm just going to go back and forth and make a couple of more leaves. I can stop and turn it around and go back the other direction. And then I have a little bit sticking up right here. I'm just going to use a dampened paintbrush and kind of tuck that down underneath the flower petal. And then I decided to add a couple of purple dots just for interest. And then I think I'm going to stop messing with this cookie here and not add any more. I think these are cozy little fall pumpkin cookies, and I absolutely love them. And these little leaf cookies are the perfect addition for this fall set. I'll leave a link to that tutorial in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Happy fall, y'all.